All right, it's been quite a journey of building a rear axle from out the car and from ground up. And today we're going to try and finish this all up with painting it. And so right now it's looking all nice and pretty and reinforced. It's time. Let's paint this thing. So like I showed you in the previous video, I got a suggestion to use Eastwood Extreme Chassis Black. Usually I use POR 15 stuff. It's not paid, it's not anything like that right now. It's just the 65 used POR 15 products to get it going, and that worked really well. Now but you know, this has a powder coated rear axle, so I don't want to go spend the money for powder coating, so I'm going to just get a paintbrush and paint this stuff on. Or I was going to do POR 15 stuff, but so that's where I was getting at. I was encouraged to use this stuff over the POR 15 because this would be more suitable for impact resistance, brake fluid, brake cleaner, you know, things like that. And that's what this rear axle is going to get put through, because it's going to be driven on the road, racetracks. It's going to get serviced, so we're going to have fluid splashes, we're going to have impacts, we're going to have road debris and all this other stuff, and we just want it to be a nice good coat. Now this is a satin finish. I don't like black gloss finishes, because if you get underneath the car and you look at the rear axle, it's going to have a gloss finish, which kind of has that wet look. If something's leaking on the car, I want to know it's leaking. I want to be able to visually see it and say that is fluid, not a glossy paint job. So that's why you want to get a matte, flat, or satin finish for stuff like a rear axle and things like that. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to get some painter tape. We're going to paint off some of the bits that we do not want coated, and we're going to remove some things that we can remove that we don't want to get coated, and let's get after it. We're going to use the axles. We're going to put the axles in the axle tubes, and that's going to help hold it up for the paint process, and that way we can, you know, apply. Ooh, it's pretty thin stuff. And that, folks, is coat number 1. They suggest applying a light coat And that's kind of what we did. We didn't make sure that we had perfect coverage, although it does look like it does have pretty good coverage for one coat. Now, it says wait 15 to 20 minutes so that the first coat can get tacky, and then apply your second coat. And we're going to be doing this for 3 coats, maybe 4 coats, because we want this thing to be a durable coating on this thing. I don't want, you know, plus I got a whole can of this. Of course I can keep it for something else, but I want, you know, I want to make sure this thing is looking a-okay, brand new, and is super durable. That's coat number 2. We're going to do the same 30-minute dry time between our first to second coat so that we can get into it for the 3rd coat. And I'm liking this. It's kind of like self-leveling a little bit. I haven't seen too many drips too badly, and it looks like it's doing pretty good. So far I like it. Yes, my garage floor is a mess. I didn't put a drop cloth out. It's a garage floor. Okay, don't come after me. I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty happy with the results of how this is coming out. It's looking brand spanking new. Of course, this is still wet from coat number 3. You gotta let this dry. So go ahead and put 30 minutes on the clock for us to come back. Because I'm going to race this thing and abuse this thing, I'm gonna put 4 coats on this thing. Also, I'm looking at how much paint this 4 coats is taking. Don't worry, 4 coats is 1, plenty enough, and 2, not wasting much, because even though I'm dripping on the floor, but even though it's 4 coats, it hardly put a dent in the can. I would say I've used maybe 20% of the paint, and that was a brand new can. So I'm pretty happy about it. It is pretty thin stuff, but so far everything is going according to plan. The paint is adhering to the metal just fine. I see literally no downsides. I will say this, I am a believer of the Eastwood stuff now, because this is really nice. Of course, it's going to come out satin when it does dry. But like this stuff, this is the POR. This is glossy. That's what I was talking about. This looks wet, and if you're under the car and it's dark and you're trying to diagnose something, maybe you got something happening, this being shiny becomes a problem. So, but when you look at this, we're gonna have this nice shiny, you know, finished machine stuff, like the UPR stuff, the flange. We're gonna have the cover. All that's gonna just pop. It's gonna stand out so much from the paint, but the paint being, it's just gonna be a good looking rear end. That's all I gotta say, you know. there we got it. We got 4 coats of paint onto the rear axle housing. I think we did a pretty good job because we taped everything off. We made sure we had good coverage. It was good prep for the most part. I mean, it was already kind of prepped and knocked off all the loose ends and all the dirt. Kind of when we got started, when we cleaned this thing up. So it, for the most part, it was very straightforward to just start slapping on some paint. So and that Eastwood stuff is DTM, direct to metal paint, and so you just put it just directly on nice clean surface, which that's exactly what that was. Now I'm not going to let you guys or force you guys to watch paint dry, but what's going to end up happening is we need a 24-hour cure process before any fluids get put into it, before we unmask things, before we do anything of the sort. We're going to make sure that the paint dries, and that's going to be a 24-hour process. 48-hour, I think it's fully cured, but 24-hour, you have to wait before you can put fluids in it and start kind of like really handling it, or because it's pretty heavy. So now, this isn't the last video of the rear end series, okay? We still got to put this thing back together, all right? So that's what the game plan is. I'm going to have a final full assembly of the rear axle housing and have it ready before it goes back onto the Red Fox, where it's going to stay there for a while. But guess what? We are going to be putting back those 4-lug drag lights back on there. So I need to go ahead. I already have someone lined up for those wheels already, someone who wants to use them. So basically I'm just going to go ahead and give those wheels to him, and we're going to put on 2 of the nice bronze wheels, and we get to see what it looks like. Now, kind of back into the normal program, weekly uploads, we're going to get back into doing the rear suspension, because I have the rear suspension components for the Red Fox that we're going to assemble on the car. I'll explain that in those videos. Same with parking brake, because boy, would it be nice to use the parking brake instead of wheel chocks, because that's currently my situation. Now, man, I just can't believe of how good this rear axle is going to look, because you got the nice shiny billet parts. You're going to have nice fresh paint job. It's a good time. Anyways, progress is made on the 88 Mustang, the Red Fox body, the drag car of, the collection here. So hit the like button below. Comment your thoughts. Would you have used different paint? Should I have put a different bass boat color like I did for the 65, powder coated? But this was far cheaper. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to do that again, just because of the cost savings instead of powder coating it. But it is cool because you can get all sort of cool colors and all whatever. But if it's your first time here, why don't you think of subscribing? And then if you are subscribed, you will be able to see the next thing. Turn on the notifications so you get the alerts whenever the videos drop. And if you want to see these videos early, you can pay as little as $2 a month, and you get early access to all these videos immediately. As soon as I upload them, they are available for the enthusiast level of my membership on YouTube to be able to watch these videos. And to me, I find that's worth it, because then you see real time of what's actually happening, because these videos aren't coming out until June to the public. So that's all I'm saying. If you're a patient person, you're a frugal person, you can definitely hold out. You still will be able to get to watch these videos. No big deal. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video of full assembly, and yeah, full assembly. Then we're gonna probably get started putting it in the car. Anyways, thanks for watching.